Okay, welcome back to the Semi-Sages of the Pages author interviews for Queens in Wonderland. And I'm here with Stephanie Sanders Jacob, who wrote Boy Kind, Girl Kind for our anthology. So super, super excited about this one. And this story is all about identity, as so many of the stories in this anthology are, but it's a little bit different in that this character really questions what they've been told that they are. And they get to have a wonderful encounter with Cheshire, who asks them that wonderful question, who are you? And then the character gets to figure that out. So it's wonderful. It's uh it it doesn't have a lot of like the fantasy elements as some of the other stories have. It's very rooted in reality, which is such a wonderful take a breath moment in this anthology. So Stephanie, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your story?
So it is about a young girl, I would say teenager, and she's spending the summer with her grandparents as she does every summer. And it seems very routine, very dull and humdrum. And she has this extraordinary encounter, and it leaves her questioning her identity. But it's something she kind of knew all along. It just took that extra push to make her, define it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really wonderful. So what drew you to the Wonderland universe?
It's just so weird.
It
And,
is.
yeah, and despite that, or maybe because of that, it's really endured. I remember reading it as a kid and being like, this is bizarre, like you see an older book, especially as a child, and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna like this, I'm not gonna understand this. And then you read it and you're like, no, that's timely, that persists.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I was so glad to be able to tie Alice in Wonderland and the Wonderland universe into this anthology because Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is about identity. She
Hmm.
constantly is wandering around being like, who am I? She has characters asking who she is. She says fun stuff like, I was a different person yesterday than I am today. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. And it ties in so well to this anthology.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So what drew you to being a part of this anthology?
Well, so I'm trying to make a more conscious effort to be part of more queer projects in 2024. So I was super excited when you came out with this one. And there's a lot of material in Wonderland. Like my mind just went, well, there's a lot of ideas there. And it's super inspiring. I just thought it was a really cool theme.
Was there anything that was hard about this story?
Yeah, so it'd been a while since I'd read Wonderland, and I didn't want to lean too heavy on the movies, even though that's all part of the universe, that's all valid. But I don't know, maybe I'm a purist, I don't know. And so I did a lot of research. I should have just read the book, but instead I read like thousands of fan pages and just like absorbed all these like character bios and stuff like that. And I wanted to write this kind of sweet and innocent story without trivializing someone like coming out. And I it's a subtle thing, especially being non-binary. I feel like I myself am non-binary, and I just feel like it was kind of a subtle awakening for me. And so there was no point where I was like, yeah, that it is who you are. And I had a really hard time defining that moment, I guess, because it's a fluid thing, and it's yeah. So I needed Cheshire to give that little push.
Yeah, and Cheshire is such a great character for that as well. So, all right, before we get to the reading, where can our viewers find out more information about you?
Yeah, I have a website. It's sandersjacob.com. No hyphen, just all one word, Sanders Jacob, and all my social media is listed there. I'm on every platform, so yeah.
Good, wonderful. All right, ready to do the reading?
Yeah, let me pull it up here. Harper didn't want to spend the summer with her grandparents. She was too old for that. At 15, she was beyond the brightly colored board games her grandmother pulled out of the closet, beyond the stories her grandfather insisted on telling as the sky turned to rust and the fireflies took flight. Besides, it was boring here in the country where her cell phone service dwindled, and there was nothing within walking distance except the crooked creek she'd waded in as a girl, the dark wood on the edge of the property. There wasn't anything to do. She followed their old swayback bloodhound around the house and back, watching its ears drag the dirt as it sniffed. "Find anything good, Bayard?" she asked. The bloodhound gave a lazy shake of its tail, kept its nose to the ground. Harper continued to follow. She glanced down at the silver watch on her left wrist, a gift from her older sister. Melody was in college, had moved out long ago, and wasn't subjected to these monotonous summers spent trailing a dog in the late summer heat. She wondered why she couldn't stay at Melody's place in the city. They could be having lunch at one of those cool little cafes only Melody knew about, or stealing sips out of a bottle of cheap whiskey, smuggling candy into a theater.
I love it. I love it. It's so exciting. And again, as I said before, so rooted in reality. And so what happens to this character, it's the fact that it's rooted in reality, and then she has an encounter with a character from Wonderland actually makes it even more dualistic and more surprising that it happened. So it's really
Yeah,
fun.
I was really drawn to the subtle approach. And also, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like Cheshire. Like, he creeps me out. So I was like, if I made him a cute little baby, maybe I maybe I wouldn't be so. And he's young, just like she's young, and they're both growing and learning. And I don't know. I tried to do some symbolism here. I don't know.
Well, and I don't want to give too much away, but your
Sure.
Cheshire was creepy.
Yeah, I put a little bit of horror in there because I'm scared of him. He's just his grin. It's just, he's not for me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. So, all right. So thank you for coming. For our viewers, if you're watching this, that means that Queens in Wonderland is up for pre-order or available in all the places. And if you are interested in signed copies, I will have them on www.nobadbookspress.com. So super excited for it. And Stephanie, anything else to add?
No, order your copy. I'm really excited. This is a really cool anthology with a lot of amazing authors. Like when I saw the table of contents, I was like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
this is a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's all of these stories are so incredible. So super excited. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. And we'll see you around. Take care, everyone.